Welcome to Beans and Breakdowns, a podcast dedicated to bridging the gap between specialty coffee and the heavy music community. On this episode, I'm joined by Thum, bassist of the band Skullgate. So grab a fresh cup of coffee and wake the fuck up! What's going on, caffeinated crew? Today, I'm joined by a good friend, somebody who I have played many shows with and always have a good time. It's Ben from Skullgate.
Yo, thanks so much for having me, buddy.
I'm so happy that we're doing this.
Yeah,
it's been too long.
I mean, we talked about it earlier, but I know it bounced back and forth between me or Holden or whoever, but I feel like I'm more coffee oriented than Holden is.
I heard that you were more coffee, and then all Skullgate roads pointed to you. So yeah,
I do a lot behind the scenes,
That's what I heard. I heard that you're the Skullgate guy. Plus, Holden's got bigger fish to fry now that he's dying fetus's Canadian guitar tech.
Right? Pretty sick. That was wild.
Yeah, next you'll see one of the guys, like you'll see Trey on drums just wearing a Skullgate hoodie or something, and y'all are going to be famous.
I mean, maybe, you never know. But it's no, that was sick. It was, I love Fetus. Like they're so dope. Like I got to see them when they played brass here last time. Mm-hmm. I really wanted to come to these couple shows, but I was just so busy with work and stuff that I couldn't. So
I always try to see them when they come to town, and I work for Extensive, who does all those bigger shows. And so I can usually, work privileges. I can get in easier. And I was so excited because I also love Black Dahlia.
Yep.
And Alan Cassidy has been on the podcast before. And I was like, oh, damn, like I'm going to go. Got sick, couldn't go, was so tired. And it was a real bummer because that's the first time in like 3 years that I haven't been to a Fetus show when they come.
Yeah, I like Spite too, so it would have been cool. And who else was on that? Was it Angel Maker or something like that?
It was Angel Maker.
Yeah. So, I mean, a solid lineup. I saw that lineup and I was like, damn, like that's a good lineup. So
I totally forgot Spite was on that. I've been watching the drum playthrough videos that they were doing in the pandemic. What's his name? Matt Giuliano, I think, is the drummer.
I think so, yeah.
Insane drummer. I think he used to play for Amir, which is a little bit dumber of a drumming gig, I think. But this is definitely more deathcore, craziness. So that would have been fun. But
yeah,
being sick is always a bummer.
Dude, I've missed so many shows being sick, like before pandemic, during, after pandemic, whatever. Like it's just is what it is. So, your body can only handle so much.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, like if I have long COVID, what's going on, but every 6 weeks I get ill.
Man, the beginning of this year was really rough for me, actually. Like out of the first 3 months of the year, I was sick for half of it. I got it was end of the last year. It was literally, I think because my girlfriend's birthday is December 31st, like New Year's, right?
Oh, wow.
So I was sick during her birthday, was sick for I think 2 weeks. And I think it was two things that went into each other. I think I had COVID again, but then I got a sinus infection, was good for I think a week, and then got sick again. And it was it was so rough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lost my smell, lost my taste.
That's the vid. That's it.
Many times. But that's the thing, is the second time it happened, I was like, this isn't COVID, but it was a bad sinus infection. It was just wild. So I was just like, I think this is just going to happen to me after getting COVID once or twice now. I think it's just going to be a sensitivity or something. So, but
I think it just destroys your immune system. And so every other thing, I was talking to a guy yesterday and he said that, 1 year he was on tour, and on 3 different US tours, he got sick with the flu or COVID or something else.
That'd be
And
so rough on tour.
yeah, so he said that he got a steroid shot finally on one of them, and that within 30 minutes it like snapped up and he was fine. So
That's wild.
I might have to be looking into that.
Yeah, just get a booster or like whatever steroid shot for it. Like just ramp your immune system up.
Be a juicer. I'm gonna juice up. I'm trying to be like Arnold. All natural.
Oh yeah, so natural, bro.
You have some coffee?
I do. So I made notes because I'm not a huge like coffee guy. Like I like coffee. I grew up, my mom drank coffee. Like I love the smell of it and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Just caffeine doesn't do a lot for me. Like I'm one of those guys, I can drink espresso at night. I can drink energy drinks at night and go to sleep. Like It doesn't, I don't need it to like wake up in the morning. I'm not like, oh man, you wouldn't like me before I've had my coffee. Like I'm one of those guys who are like, I like it. But I was listening to one of your other episodes with Alexander from Ethereal. Mm-hmm. And I would classify myself as I like yuppie coffee. You know, like yeah. You won't catch me like getting a Timmy's, double or something like that. Like that's not for me, like the coffee pot stuff. But after Hold Your Ground, when we were on our way back, we stopped at what's it called? It's Back Road Coffee Roasters on our way back. Mm-hmm. And so I'm drinking, it's a Colombian. It is called Base Camp. Nice. So my girlfriend works at Starbucks, and so she made this for me. So she made me something nice today. So basically, she did, what was it? Pour over iced coffee for me. So it's pretty nice. It's got some notes of cacao, creme brulee, and cherry. Ooh. So yeah, it's pretty nice. I got some oat milk in it, and then a little bit of this sugar cookie syrup that Starbucks does that I like in my regular drinks and stuff from there.
That sounds good. I've been on the toasted marshmallow syrup this fall.
Nice.
But it's from that 1883 brand. It's like some French syrup brand. Yeah. A lot of the cafes here have.
Yeah, I'm a sweet coffee boy usually. Like this is not. I only put like a little bit of this in to get like the coffee vibe for for Beans and Breakdowns crew. Had to do it.
I respect it. I respect the ice pour over. That's whenever I make coffee for my wife, that's usually what she asks for.
I'm not a hot drink guy either. Like when I was younger and drank ice caps, catch me in the winter drinking ice caps, like stuff like that. Like I run hot, so I like cold drinks.
I understand. My morning routine before I was working in a cafe every day, it was always like a pour over in the morning and then like an African, more like fruity coffee in the afternoon. Yeah. During the summer, probably iced. But now it's like, I know that I'm going to get coffee when I get to work. So I don't spend the time. I kind of don't like that. I do want to get back to like my morning routine of making a coffee, but I understand running hot for sure.
Because I've seen some crazy coffee setup videos where the people are scaling out things and spraying water on their beans and stuff.
I don't spray.
Like, no.
I don't have time for that. I think I just don't have nice enough gear to where the spray will make that much of a difference. I have done the sprinkle water before, and it's like, okay, yeah, that's fine. It helps with like the static and stuff, but my setup is not nice enough yet.
And I know you like to do the quicker stuff too. So like, that's why you're just like pour over, like it's quicker.
Yeah. I mean, the ADHD can only allow me to do so much patience. I'm lucky I can wait 3.5 minutes for that drip down. I got something around the corner from my house. I have Pourquoi Pas Espresso. It is a travesty because they only do espresso. I don't know why in 2024, the year of our Lord, there's a shop that only does espresso.
Only espresso.
In North America. But they carry Pilot and DeMello from Toronto, both legendary Toronto roasters. And I got this Costa Rica Sumava, and it's a geisha, which is a little bit special.
Okay.
Because it's like... who was it? Bo from Thought Crime put it in one of the best ways I have ever heard somebody describe a geisha. Somebody asked them why it was such a special, expensive coffee. And they simply said, it's because this coffee does not want to exist. So it's very difficult to grow this coffee in most climates. It only grows in very few like Central American countries. But this is like a honey process. So it gives it a little bit funky kind of sweetness.
Cool.
So this is like blackberry, honeysuckle, and like a creamy mouthfeel. It's wonderful. Yeah. And I'm really enjoying it, trying not to drink it too fast. But shout out Pilot. I actually, John Petit.
Yeah.
So we coffee text all the time. We're like coffee boyfriends a little bit. And so he'll send me a bag of like what he's drinking, or we'll go back and forth. Like, have you tried this coffee? And so as soon as I was in line and I saw it, he loves Pilot. And I sent him a picture of it. I was like, yo, check this out. He's like, let me know how that is. So John is really good. I'll just tell you right now. So shout out John, another Ottawa family.
Yeah, no, I really liked the spot we went for ours, because they roast their own stuff there, and like it was just like a nice little spot, honestly, like good vibes, and they made some good drinks and stuff. I got another iced coffee, I'm pretty sure, when I was there. I just don't, it had some like banana in it or something like that. It was kind of weird, but it was good. Like it was tasty. I have to try and remember what it was. I think it was like a special drink that they were doing. So
was Backroads is in like Oakville,
like Mississauga, I think. Yeah, like somewhere like that.
Spencer, last Hold Your Ground, when Spencer was shooting, I like met him there before one of the days, and like we hung out for a bit and then went to the fest.
Nice.
And that was like he lived literally right around the corner from there for a full summer.
Oh, so he knows like the spot,
Yeah. So he was like, this is my coffee spot. And I tried a coffee that they had that was like barrel aged in rum barrels or something.
I think they had another one there when we were there that said, because they had a few different types when they were there, or when we were there. Sorry. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
It was weird. It was a weird coffee.
Yeah. Rum aged barrel aged stuff in general is like, it's hit and miss, man. Like
I couldn't drink it in the morning because it made me want to barf. Because all it did was like remind me of drinking rum.
Yeah, right at 8 a.m. or something like that. Yeah, this is what I want, rum in the morning, brother.
This is not for me. I am not a pirate.
Nope, neither am I. I'm like you said, like, I mean, I drink as well. I don't drink as much as when I was younger. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. I'm an old man now. So, but yeah, like that's not what I would want in the morning, is rum flavored anything. Thank you. Oh. Good. Awful.
Like, props on them for trying it. Like, you tried a thing. It's cool.
Could be like a dinner coffee or something like that. Maybe like if people do that,
I think I used it for Irish coffee at one point, and I
could see that.
It made sense. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was not fitting the vibe. So anyway, shout out Backroad.
Hell yeah.
For just trying the things that nobody asked for.
Exactly. And that's the thing with coffee for me, is like, cause like I am a beer guy, but I'm more like the craft stuff, like IPA, smoothie sours, all sorts of random stuff like that. So, I mean, that's kind of where like I like coffee, and I would definitely get into it that way. I feel like, so I don't know. I'm also like a weed guy too, so it's the same thing.
That now that you mentioned that, this brings me to our next segment, which I'm calling Weird Weed.
Okay.
I made this especially for you.
Hell yeah.
What is the strangest interaction you have ever had with a customer at your store? There's got to be some, because I know that you work at a store that sells.
Yes, I've worked in cannabis for like 10 years now. Like, because I mean, I used to manage like bong shops and stuff like that, and like now I do like the dispensary thing. Honestly, like everyday you can get some really weird customers. It's some people are talking about conspiracy theories and they're like, oh, like they're putting stuff in the weed and they're going to 3D print cities and this, that, the other thing. Like, some people are out to lunch and maybe shouldn't be smoking weed, but like, I can't really tell them not to, kind of thing. We just had somebody basically trying to say that, like something was so strong that it shouldn't be sellable and stuff like that. And I'm like, this is all legal tested stuff. Like, I don't know what you're talking about, but okay. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of like any customer service though. Like realistically, like that you get some weirdos, but most people are pretty nice, honestly. It's not like working in bong shops. Like, so I used to work downtown, pretty close to Vanier in Ottawa, which is not an awesome spot really. And like, I mean, people used to be wild there. Like, I mean, I had weapons flashed at me and stuff like that, so some people get really angry about the silliest things. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But it's very interesting nowadays because there's just so many stores here. Like, because I know you're on the Quebec side, right? So
there's like 3 XQDCs in the whole
that's
city.
the thing. And like Ottawa, Ontario is all like privatized. So there's over 100 stores in Ottawa, right? So there's more dispensaries than there are Timmy's, I'm pretty sure. So, which is saying something.
Yeah, I'd like to see the statistics on that. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
There's a shop that now Ryan has grown to be a fan of, because Ryan.
Yeah.
And it's like the ICC.
Okay.
You know where that is? Like it's around the corner from Rideau Mall. It's like the Indigenous Cannabis something.
Oh, it's an Indigenous store. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So he like found it last time we were there, and he went in and they were like, what did he say? He's like, they gave me free shit. I was like, okay, like good for you.
Yeah, see, we're not allowed to give away free things. Like we have so many rules and stipulations and everything that like it's hard to have fun in the legal world right now. Government does like a stranglehold on it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, for sure. Imagine having to be in Quebec and doing it.
It's in my opinion the worst industry, unfortunately, one of, I guess, in the country, just because of how strict they are on a bunch of stuff. Like but I mean, hey man, that's what they want to do.
You could move to beer. Beer's like a little less strict, especially for Ontario.
Well, because we're on the border, right? Like we got like Hull and Gatineau, like right across the bridge from us. So we get a ton of Quebec customers from there because they don't have the stuff that we have in the industry, So they're like, oh, we can buy strong things in your stores and we can buy a bunch of different products in your stores and flavored things and whatever. So it's interesting. I mean, there's a ton of characters, let me tell you. But
I can only imagine, because working in coffee, I get enough.
I was going to say, but knowing coffee people, again, like the fast food version of coffee people from Starbucks, like I'm good. I'll stay in the cannabis sector. I'm good.
We're a little more niche.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been thinking of doing reenactments. Like, how some people on TikTok will reenact customer, like encounters they have. I had somebody tell me that the oat milk was stale in their drink. And I was like, I assure you, it's been open for 25 minutes. It's not stale.
But it's stale. I can taste it.
If you can taste stale oat milk, God bless. Like, I have no idea what kind of, you must be a superhuman.
Yeah. So, see, I like oat milk. Like, that's the thing. Cause I'm vegetarian, right? But like, I still do dairy products. So, but it's just, I don't like milk. So I prefer like oat, mouthfeel, flavor wise, all that kind of stuff. Like that's my preferred non-dairy beverage. I guess, like for mixing and stuff. So I like it. But yeah, stale oat milk, sure, buddy. Like, I don't know.
I actually prefer it, like in coffee, I prefer oat milk, but I've been doing some like nutrition stuff recently, and the sugar content in oat milk is ridiculous. Like it is so much. And so I recently switched to like regular milk just because of the less sugar, more protein, bro talk, macro shit. Yeah. But also they have high protein milk now, which is crazy.
I've seen it was Bo from Harm's Way. He's doing a bunch of like mixes with like the float stuff. So he'll mix in like a 0 sugar pop of some sort with like the, what is it, muscle milk or whatever it's called. And I saw like one was like a Fanta orange, no sugar from the States, and like tastes like a creamsicle basically because he's the vanilla muscle milk. Yeah. I don't, they're making like basically like pop floats, but 0 sugar, protein, stuff like that. So
that's sick. I got to get on that because they Fairlight makes like this 42 gram protein like shake bottle. It's called like Elite or something. And it's just milk. There's no protein powder or anything. It's just ultra filtered. I watched like a breakdown on how they do it, and they basically filter out each ingredient and then they remix,
like reintroduce it kind of thing.
Yeah. So they have it like all these milk proteins are divided from like the fats and then like the other bits. And so they just take more of the proteins and add it back in with like the normal amount of fat and the normal amount of sugars.
I mean, hey, if it works, it works,
Science, dude. That's crazy. So it tastes good.
I usually get my, like whenever I grab my drink from Starbucks or whatever, I usually get oat milk in it. And then when they don't have oat milk and it's regular milk, I can't do it. Like I tried one the other day and I was like, man, it tastes bad to me. Like I don't like it. So I'm just so used to it, but that's the thing is I use milk stuff to like cook more than anything, like cream and whatever, stuff like that. But it's, I don't know.
There's a milk substitute, like a plant-based milk that this coffee guy James Hoffman created, and it's called MYLK milk.
Okay.
And it steams just like milk, like normal full fat milk, but it's a combination of macadamia, oat, and coconut.
That sounds cool.
I believe. So it gives you these different fat like contents.
I love coconut milk, but it's just the thing is, it's like you have to want to taste coconut, because it overpowers a lot. So like coconut rice, like make rice with coconut milk in it. Oh, yes, sir. Love that. Good.
With a little bit of like cilantro in it.
Yes. Yep. That's what's up.
So almond milk is a no-go for me just because it tastes like almonds, and that's gross.
I like almonds, but like it's a texture thing for me for almonds. I find it's got like it's grainy, like I liked it at one point, but not as much anymore. It's the same thing with soy. Like soy milk I used to like at one point, but it pretty much chocolate soy milk still is okay. But other than that,
I'll tell you, anytime I get a soy milk order at the cafe, immediately I judge that person. I just think that they don't know what good coffee is. You want soy in your coffee? We have oat milk, and you want soy?
You want soy?
You want soy? It's disgusting. But
okay, what about? So actually, there is one dairy beverage I drink, and it's getting close to that time. Actually, it should be that time now.
Say it with your full
Eggnog,
voice,
baby. Love eggnog.
I'm a nog boy. I'm a noggy boy.
Let's go.
I will drink an eggnog latte every single day of the winter season without any conscience being harmed.
Thank you. Some of you were like, "Oh, eggnog, that's gross." I'm like, you need to reevaluate your taste buds, please. So
now, is it Silk and Nature's Own? They make oat nog.
Yes, I've seen them. I haven't tried it yet. I want to. Good. Is it? Okay,
yes.
Sick.
It's really good. And it doesn't have as much as like because it's all plant based. So if you don't like the egg being in it, or if you don't like the like over dairy taste of an eggnog, the oatnog, it feels like you're drinking oat milk with all the different spices in it. It's really good.
I'll have to check it out. I'm like I'm a fancy boy with it. Like I like the glass bottle eggnogs. So there used to be like a dairy close to here, but I think there was some issues and they were doing some illegal dumping or something. So I don't know. So they're not around anymore. But Farm Boy eggnog, really good. Comes in glass bottle, fire.
I put some respect on Farm Boy. I really, really wish that in Quebec we could get Farm Boy.
Oh yeah, I guess you guys don't have it there, eh?
I didn't know there was one in Ottawa.
Yeah, there's a few.
That's true.
I got one like right down the street from my house. So
there's one in Rideau because we went and Alec last time got a bunch of seltzers at Farm Boy because he loves the Farm Boy seltzers, and we brought them back to the venue and they got mad at us and we're like, we're just bringing in what we can't get in Quebec. Like, we're not trying to take your business away. I promise.
Yeah. That's some venues need to chill with that kind of stuff, you know, especially when it's like,
it was Mavericks.
Of course it was. Of course. Boo.
Fuck that venue.
Boo.
Fuck that venue. Fuck Mavericks. Well,
especially now, like, I mean, man, venues. That's such an issue here. Holy.
I'm okay with the Dom, and Rainbow's been great.
I just hate the stage. I wish the stage was like half as tall as it was.
But the people are chill, which is great.
Yes.
That sound guy is awesome to work with.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I like the stage is weird.
I just wish it was. It's just too. When the stage is up to my shoulders and I'm a tall guy, like it's just too tall. You know,
you just look like Andre the Giant.
Well, that's the thing, dude. I'm like 6'4", right? So like, it's like, bro, like the stage shouldn't be this tall. But anyways, it's a great place. It was fun. Like, I mean, the show we played with you guys was fun, and
twice.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait.
No, I went to the second one.
Yes,
we played one. Yes,
with Standstill and Montclair. Which great bands, busted show.
Yeah, it was a hard time for that because like there's a lot going on in Ottawa that day or that weekend. I think it was race weekend. So a bunch of people, like, traffic was awful. It took me so long to get there because I came straight from work to come to that show. Right. So it took me exponentially longer just to get through downtown because Ottawa downtown can be rough sometimes, man. It can be rough. Lots of one ways. Lots of construction, you know, so it's rough sometimes, but
it's the Ontario city with the most Quebec vibe.
Yeah, I mean, we're right there, right? We're brushing shoulders. So, no, we just played the Club Saw or Saw Gallery the other night, and I haven't played there since it was renoed, and it was super fun actually. Like, sounded pretty solid. We're a little rushed for like our check. We like pretty much did like a quick line check and then go because we were playing. It's more like a metal show that we were playing the other night. So the other bands were a lot more stuff going. We're pretty simple. We're like amps, one mic, let's go, you know, and then they're like samples and this and whatever, you know. So it was fun though.
Yeah. Y'all are truly like how do I say this? Like the truest version of thrash crossover that I have seen in Canada. It's amazing.
We appreciate it. I mean, and that's the thing is we like riffs, but we also like hardcore. So we like people punching each other. So
I know
we want that to mesh a little bit, you know?
But it's also the clean interludes just bring me so much like life.
Yeah. No, that's, I mean, there's a lot of different influences in the band. So like, it's everybody brings something to the table from different aspect, you know, like I used to play hardcore with Scott, who will be back in the band this year, which is, he's back. 3 guitars, baby.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So it'll be fun. So starting new year, 3 guitars. This was our last show as a 5-piece and we're going to be a 6-piece. So, hey, couple people, but riffs, buddy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like Scott and I used to play in a band back in the day, and like we opened for, I don't know, a bunch of cool bands in Ottawa. Like we opened for Backtrack and Soul Search and Rude Awakening, and
Ooh.
what else did we do? I don't know, bunch of people. So it was, I mean, honestly, it was a good time. Sworn Enemy, stuff like that. So it was a good time, but that was a long time ago. Like we're talking, 2011, 2010, like stuff like that. And then Andrew and I played in a pop punk band together after that. So that was fun. Party band, if there ever was one.
You've been through the eras. Like that was the progression. So you're 35?
30. I just turned 33.
Okay. So you're in between me and John.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you would have done the go from like metalcore, get into hardcore, do the whole like Backtrack, like New York thing, and then go the story so far, the crossover from hardcore to pop punk. And then
it was kind of parallel for me. So like I've listened to people talk about like how they got into hardcore and stuff, and talk about all that kind of stuff. And my background's a little different because like one, I'm a little older. So like I grew up with dial-up, like I didn't have high-speed internet until partway through high school. So like when people are already on MySpace and stuff like that, like I didn't get that until the tail end, because I also moved out to the boonies and stuff. So I was out in past Kempville. So realistically for me, like I went like classic rock, hip hop, really heavy, like I went death metal and then deathcore kind of stuff, and then kind of swung back to more like metalcore and everything like that, and then kind of did everything else like the pop punk and hardcore. Like I have a pretty broad music taste. Like I mean, you never know what you're going to find me listening to be honest. Sometimes it's, I don't know, like that kind of stuff. Sometimes it's just some jazz if I'm just vibing, sometimes it's Chino Pacas, like some Mexican guitar and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, man. Like
what's the Brothers Gutierrez, the Hermanos Gutierrez, like the two brothers that play the, that's good stuff.
So, I mean, and that's the thing is, so like, I remember like after high school kind of thing, because I remember that era, like the Warped Tour era kind of like stuff. Like I used to go to Warped Tour all the time, Rockfest around here. I went like 8 years in a row. So I would see all sorts of different bands, right? So, but playing, I would say Scott and his brother influenced a lot of my like hardcore, because his brother is, I think he's my age, if not a year older. And they were like super into hardcore and stuff, but like I got into Guns Up and stuff like that, like Guns Up was like one of my favorite hardcore bands for like a long time. So
it's crazy the following that Guns Up had in Canada and in the States. Not as influential.
Yeah.
Like everyone from Montreal, from Ottawa, from this region, I guess the greater capital region, loves Guns Up.
Yeah.
Which they were known, but everybody in the States was into Have Heart.
Yeah. Which I understand why, but like Have Heart, I didn't get into Have Heart till after kind of thing. Cause like the melodic kind of hardcore stuff, like I liked Verse and stuff like that, but Have Heart, I know a lot of people really care about that band, but for me, like I like them. I think they're great. It's just, they weren't like the top for me. I liked more like, again, like the kind of like heavier stuff. So, but yeah, I listen to, like I said, I listen to everything, and it's, yeah. I mean, back to the pop punk thing. Like, yeah, there was a big era for me of that, because I was playing in At Odds and Neighbors, which is, so At Odds is the hardcore band, Neighbors is the pop punk band at the same time. So we're like, sometimes it's one or the other. And then I pretty much stopped playing music at the same time. Like, so this is like 2016 or something like that was when both bands kind of like stopped. And then I had a huge gap of like not going to shows, not playing and stuff. I really missed it, especially after COVID and stuff. I went and saw Misery Signals with End Trench. They came through Ottawa.
Great show.
Oh, fantastic. And it gave me the itch.
That's the first show I broke my hand at.
Really?
Yeah. You know Giuliano from Crosscheck?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on. I broke my hand on his elbow
him
at that show. And yeah.
Hand versus elbow. That's rough.
It was bad.
Yeah. Where'd you break it? What part of the hand?
It was this knuckle, like the pinky knuckle.
Yeah, I broke the side, like closer to the wrist.
That just healed. I broke that the day we got back from Hold Your Ground. We went and saw Myland and Pale Lake at Turbo House.
Yeah.
And I broke the fifth metacarpal.
I think, were you talking to Abel about that?
Yes.
From Big S. Yeah, I think I remember listening to that. That's why. So
I was still in a splint when we talked.
Oof, rough, dude. Yeah, I got like a boxer's fracture on there. So it's like I can feel where it's broken. And then if I hit it too hard, it likes to do weird stuff. So I try not to. I used to like hit my bass and stuff when I played. Not doing that anymore. So
apparently Ryan has something similar and he got it x-rayed and actually it's at the point where it healed wrong. So he may have to have surgery at some point.
Ooh, rough.
So they re-break it and then let it heal.
Have to set it properly and stuff. Yeah.
So he stopped hitting his bass as well. So now he picks.
Yeah. Can't, don't punch your instruments, folks. They'll take it out on you.
You have to dial in the passion.
Yes, exactly. Dial back a little bit, just a little bit, but yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, the Ottawa scene. Like I've heard so many stories because I've only been here since 2018. And I've heard so many Rockfest stories, so many Heartfest stories.
RIP.
Dude, amazing fest.
RIP.
I go back and I watch those videos and it's like, it looks like an American fest. Like,
well, we had people from America coming up too, right? Like I went to a number of like the Heartfests because like some of my friends were the ones putting it on and stuff. And again, that was that time when it was the closest thing around, especially hardcore oriented, and like it was huge. Like No Warning played, Guns Up played, so many bands. Like I had a tab open with some of the stuff actually. What else? Like Mongoloid Swamps.
Yeah, Mongoloids was a huge band for me.
Yeah, and they also had stuff like they had different times where they would do different days. Like so, one was more like pop punk emo kind of vibes. Like Defeater played, right, and like that was pretty cool. Like Turnstile played. That was at that point, Turnstile, like I remember being in that room and like the energy was like palpable. Like you could just like, it was the whole room was moving. It was wild, man. Like, and like, obviously now Turnstile's huge, but it's different, right? Like
it is, but it's not. Like I saw them in 2022 when they were doing the big festivals, but I saw them at Outbreak. So there was no barrier or anything.
Yeah.
Like I actually was able to stage dive. Like that's crazy. In 2022.
Seeing them at Outbreak, like more of like a hardcore oriented thing, I think is different than like, if you were to catch them at
Summer Breeze or something. Yeah. Like, exactly.
Yeah. Something like that. Or
even there's a reason that they are where they are.
100%.
It's because in 2012, 2010, on their like second full length or EP, they could go play a fest and everybody's sold in. Like they're all bought in.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. Turns out great. So, but yeah, no, it's cool. And like, I mean, this thing is a bunch of different bands played Heartfest and it was like a huge fest. So people, again, from the Ottawa scene, because we had a pretty good scene at that point in time. We had bands, regular shows coming through, different promoters booking different stuff, and more venues than we have right now. Like a bunch of our venues closed. So like I've seen, I don't know how many venues close over the years, but it's not as available now. And like, price of things, price of travel, and just also being the type of market it is, because it fell off with different people moving away to different cities, people growing up and growing out of the scenes, like, again, I did myself. Like I stopped going to shows because I was doing other stuff at the time for a number of years. So like, that's why I try and books shows here and there where I can now and play and all that fun stuff. Try and give back a little bit. So,
I mean, that's like, and that's what I was wanting to ask is, I mean, I see all these videos from like Heartfest. I talk to people who have been around for a long time, even my punk friends, that used to go over like I'm friends with that band, the Ruffians. They're like a street punk band. They had a hardcore band called Days of Rage and played Heartfest, like one of the pre-shows one year.
Okay.
And they were saying that it was like one of the best shows ever. Like, and it's so strange to see because we've played Ottawa like 3 or 4 times in the past 2 years. And unfortunately, it has become a skip. Like it's not, I mean, we love playing with y'all. We love the bands that we get to hang out with there. And you guys are fucking amazing. Like when I'm like, Ottawa has bands that they don't deserve because the scene doesn't like, I just haven't seen the support that and y'all come and play here and everybody goes crazy.
Yeah. It's because we have a lot of people who are that, I feel like it's like the people who only come out for big shows. Like when we opened for that Frozen Soul, Gates to Hell, Creeping Death, Enforced tour that came through, right? Mm-hmm. Which we were like, they're not playing Montreal. Like they're coming weird. Here, like we're like, okay, but sure, we'll like, please let us open. And we got to, and it was sick. There was like a few hundred people there, but where those people at other shows, I think there's a lot of things with stuff being spread out. Again, kind of swinging back to Ottawa's crazy downtown, people who don't want to drive downtown because it's awful. And then some of the places like, so the Frozen Soul show is at Brass Monkey, which is more in like the West End. Like
it's like not a suburb kind of area. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's so for people taking public transit, it sucks to get there. Me being in like Barhaven, which is like more South Ottawa kind of thing, it's a 7-minute drive for me or 8-minute drive, and there's parking there, free parking. So I love it, but I drive. So it's a weird balance of that kind of stuff, as well as like, I think we have a lot of young crowd people now, especially too, but a lot of the venues are 19 plus. Or a lot of the shows are 19 plus. So that also doesn't help either. There's definitely like a thriving like punk scene. Like the metal scene does pretty well too. But again, I find it's so hit and miss. Like you never know really. Like Norma Jean just played here last night. I didn't get to go to the show, unfortunately, but the videos I saw, it looked like a pretty decent turnout. So
yeah, I mean, but Norma Jean's a 20-year-old band.
Exactly. Right. So you get like all sorts of people. You get people my age, you get people older, you get some younger people who just want to go to a good show and stuff. Cause we played, like I said, we played on Friday night. The turnout was decent, like probably 150 maybe kind of thing. People, maybe a little less than that, but like it was decent. So, but yeah, that's the weird thing with here is it's like, Montreal, I feel like it's like a show's happening, will do well generally. Like it's people just roll out. Like, I mean, again, when we did the show, when we went to the Under the Bridge show and then we had like our vinyl release show after, like that was sick because you saw a bunch of people go to the Under the Bridge show, then go to that show. So it's a whole day. It's like basically a mini fest, and it was awesome. So
when the fact that here, but it was all ages too. That's a contributing factor.
100%.
Like, and that venue is easily accessible. Like I went to a show last night at Bâtiment Set, which is another kind of more DIY.
Okay.
But it's all ages. And there was definitely like a young crowd, like people that I hadn't really seen before. But the turnout was not nearly, well, I guess also that was Scaramanga's last show that y'all played. So that
helps. That helps. Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, this was Category 514's last show last night.
True. Yo, but Terminator played and I love Terminator. Like they're sick.
They're so good. That was my first time seeing them. I was so happy.
They came through with the Ethereal Tomb here and like it was another show at the Rainbow, and I just was like, I wish more people were here, man, because like they deserved like both of those bands. Like Ethereal's awesome, like putting on for like the young crowd, the all ages shows only kind of thing. I think that's super cool. You know, like they're just putting on for like hardcore across Canada basically, which is awesome. And then, but yeah, Terminator's sick, and like playing with, didn't they play with Gorilla Biscuits and stuff? Like that's awesome.
I think they did.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm pretty sure they opened in the States for Gorilla Biscuits. And
yeah.
stuff.
That's
and I'm like, that's sick. Like,
it's cool too, because Shane has been around for a long time, and they've been a part of some really great bands. Like they used to play in Wild Side and
right. Drummer, right?
Mm-hmm. And
yes,
they also played in like Life Ruiner at one point, and Mongoloids.
So did everybody. I feel like
yeah, everybody did. If you were from like the GTA Niagara region, you definitely played in Life Ruiner. If you're over the age of like 35,
I remember some friends here, like I think auditioned to do drums or something like that for Life Ruiner at one point. Like it was, that band is such a meme before memes kind of thing. So it was.
The best was when they went conscious. When they did the melodic album.
Yep.
And now Johnny O's in some shit.
Probably. I mean, I haven't kept up with that.
Oh, it's fucked up. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I won't get into it because it's easily. I think you can find it on Lampcoder or something like that. But
that doesn't surprise me though. So
no, that dude's he's no.
Yeah. Anyways,
but it's cool to see Shane can step into like basically they learned how to play guitar and just start writing riffs and did vocals, and it works.
Yeah, it's super sick. Like the music's great, and then Wild Side's also sick. Like playing with them again at Hold Your Ground. We played Montreal. I think our first show in Montreal was with Wild Side. Yeah,
at Cabaret Foufs.
Yeah, upstairs. Yep. Yeah. So it was sick. Best wishes, like that War Pigs cover, sick. So sick.
Was that I think I can't decide if that War Pigs cover. Oh no. So yeah, they did that when didn't they do it at the Cabaret Fouf show too?
I don't remember them doing it at Foufs. I just remember it at Hold Your Ground.
All I remember from that is Abel from Big Ass Truck sprints across the venue. I was like, damn.
Yeah, that was dope.
That's how you get everybody on your side.
Yeah, 100%. Play a cover that people like. That's the thing is, like we've like Skullgate's discussed doing a cover, but at the same time, we're just like none of us can agree on one, and we're just like we'll just play our own music, like whatever.
Cemetery Gates.
There's so many, like a bunch of people have suggested like Metallica songs, and we're just like, yeah, that'd be sick, but there's so many that are like, so.
But it's like, we want to hear a Metallica song done better than Metallica.
So which you guys music.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Just y'all could do it better. And then it gets big online. And then Metallica's like, come on tour with us.
Right? Yeah, true. That could be sick. And I mean, somebody just did that in the States. I remember seeing like a 197 video or something where somebody covered Metallica, and it was
Upon Stone. They did the Halloween.
That's who
cover.
It was.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It was very sick. So yeah, man.
At first, that video was listed as Metallica at the 1720 warehouse. And I was like, oh, no, this is a cover set. So I think they got in trouble.
Probably. Oh my God. That's actually hilarious. Yeah. I mean, we might do a cover, but I don't know. We got to figure it out. So it is what it is.
Y'all should just go extremely hardcore with it and pick like a crazy hardcore song, but then y'all still do the dive bombs and stuff.
So I made a suggestion the other day. I'm not going to say it because it depends on if we do it or not, because if it happens, it'd be sick. I think, but I think the younger kids might not get it. That's the only thing. Cause depending on how many bands they know, we'll see what happens. So
if it's not a Tsunami cover, they won't know it.
Yeah. Tsunami or Knocked Loose.
Or maybe Turnstile, depending on if they got in 3 years ago or 2 years ago.
True. Yeah. I don't know. But I mean, I remember being that kid too, who like people be like, yo, this is a cover. And I'm like, I don't know this because I haven't done my research yet, so do your research, I guess.
It's so much easier now.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So much easier.
It's so much easier. Oh man. Yeah.
I remember looking up music on iTunes. Like that was like how I found music, was iTunes Music, and it was like, oh, it's people like this. And it's like, yeah.
I remember doing the Pandora game where you would go on Pandora and you'd look up an artist that you liked or knew, and then you would hopefully find some new bands through that, and then go on LimeWire and download all their music.
Yep. LimeWire, and hopefully it was the right song. Hopefully it wasn't a Trojan virus that bricked your computer.
I'm sure I did so much irreversible damage to my family computer.
Same. With dial-up, I could still use LimeWire. It took a while, but I could still do it.
That packet download speed, crazy.
Oh, buddy. Diablo 2 and LimeWire. Those were the days.
So y'all released Veils on Lifers recently.
Shout out Lifers. Montreal style.
Yep. Just the 2 tracks. What's going on next? What's the next move?
So we don't really have a lot booked as far as like shows going. We have a show in the new year booked, but that's it. And then so we're gonna take time and write. That's what's going on now. We have a song that we have recorded, like that we're gonna put out probably as a single. So probably beginning of the new year, I'm assuming. We're just mixing it, mastering it pretty much now. Mm-hmm. And then we want to do a bigger release, like a 8-song release,
like an LP.
Yeah, like a thrash LP. We're not trying to do 15 songs, 12 songs, like 8 songs. People's attention span isn't what it used to be, man. Like that's the thing, is we want to have a bigger release because you need kind of that in the music industry. I find like people don't take you seriously sometimes until you have like a bigger release. Some people, with the demo core stuff can get by with like EPs, whatever. But we also try and do like more production kind of thing, like ourselves and everything. Right. But we also like to keep it short and sweet, 2-3 minute songs. You won't see 5-minute song from us. Like that's not a thing. So
no 7-minute thrash anthologies.
No, we're good on that. Can't do that. So yeah, no, we want to play some stuff around different places. Hopefully next year. We're kind of seeing what we can do. I don't know. It's just, I mean, obviously it depends on everybody's schedule as well, because we're all old men other than Jacob. Jacob is the young gun. But I mean, Andy's got his baby, she's like 7-8 months old now. And everybody else has lives and jobs and all that kind of stuff. Like we've talked about, like I manage 2 stores, so for me to go anywhere for an extended period of time is like, I got to plan that out kind of thing. So, I mean, like we want to kind of not play as Ottawa as much either, because we played a lot recently, I feel like, as well. So we're just like, we're going to chill out for a bit. So that's kind of like the next stuff for us. We need to print some more sick merch, because we have a design in the holster, but
I still don't have Skullgate merch.
I mean,
it's on me. It's on me.
You just gotta ask.
No, I haven't. I just like every time I forget, I'm like, oh, I forgot to get merch.
Well, that was the one thing too with like the merch, like talking about like Holden with the Dying Fetus stuff, is like, especially with our hoodie, because we didn't want to do black and whatever, we wanted to do the yellow. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, I could see multiple hoodies in the crowd because you can pick them out and stuff. So it's nice to see like that, because he saw a couple in Toronto, saw a couple in Montreal and stuff, and I was like, sweet, that's cool. It's sweet to see like our stuff, especially. I mean, we released our first EP June 2023. So like we've been a band for a year and a half now or something like that. So it's fun.
I remember when I think it was y'all play with Shutaway was the first show.
Yeah.
And John was saying that he was like, oh, these are guys that I've known for a while, and like this is their new band. I was like, oh, this is sick. Because we have Prowl, which is kind of like our thrash, and it's very different than what y'all do. It's
shout out the Kings and Prowl,
the Lords of Riff. Prowl.
Yeah. Oh, but Europe right now, shows are already looking sick. So, dude, they crush.
They hustle.
Oh yeah, for sure they do.
So I just wish they would do the States. Like, I know it's difficult for sure, and
it's expensive. That's the thing, man. It's expensive.
It is, but it's not.
It depends on how much you're gonna go. Like, that's the thing is, I feel for them because they do some bigger tours and stuff. I think they could definitely crush it because they did. I thought they did a US tour, right?
They did last year. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but that's the thing for us. Like, we want to do some stuff in the States, like Boys in Pure Bliss, of course. Like,
shout out Brandon.
Homies. I got a buddy who plays in Deal with God and Ashera as well. So,
not Dylan.
No, Paul.
Okay.
Yeah, he used to play in Misgiver and like my old hardcore band. We did like some stuff with them. So, it's just like, it's cool to see homies doing stuff in other places. So it's neat. But yeah, Pure Bliss guys are sick. Brandon's dope. Danny, the rest of the guys, like, mad love for them because I booked them here, like in Ottawa, when they were doing their run with Cohesion, and that was super fun. And then Hold Your Ground and stuff. It was cool. So, but yeah, like, we want to do it. It's just, getting visas to do like a weekend in the States.
It's a lot.
Yeah. If we were planning multiple things, like, it'd be different. But yeah, I don't know. Because are you dual citizenship?
No, I have Canadian PR.
Okay.
But I have to wait another like 10 months before I can apply for citizenship.
Makes sense. I just wasn't sure because, like, I know some people from the States, like, it's easier from them or whatever, right? To go back.
Oh, it is. I don't have to have a visa.
Yeah, because you're a citizen or whatever.
American. So. Yeah.
American.
But yeah, now we only have to pay for like 3 at the moment.
Oh.
Because Alec is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just doing cloned, right? Yeah.
He's just doing cloned.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to figure out if we want to add another guitarist or if we want to keep it simple and cheaper. And I will say traveling in a minivan with four people and all of our gear is so easy. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's the thing that I always think about. And that's why, like, especially us going up to like 6.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things. It's just like, I think about it the both ways. I'm like, the tone and the thickness of the music will sound awesome, especially with us, because you got dive bombs and solo and rhythm all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But then the travel cost, you're lugging more weight, more gear. We keep our gear, our gear is meant for travel though.
Yeah.
Like, we've focused on that a lot so that we can do that. Like, the biggest thing that I have right now being a bass player is my fridge, the A10. So I need I just played, so we opened for Salem Trials. They did a release show here. They're like deathcore, kind of stuff. And their bass player has a dark class, like a 212, and it's 1,000 watts. And I'm like, I need that.
It's 1,000 watts?
1,000 watts, bro. Yeah. It's a 212. And the thing's so light. It's so light. Because that's the thing is my head's 800. So I run into the problem of like, people are like, I got a 410, but it's 500. And I'm like,
just don't run it hot.
Yeah, I can do it. But that's what happened in Montreal when we played the release show. Is like, I had to like bring down, and because there's no DI with that, right? Like, I don't think they DI'd it, did they? I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't. I thought that they did.
Maybe they did. But regardless, like, I had like stage volume wise, like, I couldn't hear anything. So yeah, like that's what we need to do. Well, what I need to do kind of thing is just get something smaller like that. Cause Holden keeps on trying to be like, just sell the A10. I'm like, no, I can't. I love it, but my back doesn't. I'm an old man and lifting that sucks.
We just roll with a 610.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's still good. So
it's got a horn.
Yeah, it gives you that bop bop. So,
well, Ben, thank you very much for hanging out today.
Of course.
Thanks for being flexible with my issues.
Of course, man. No worries. I like to be flexible where I can. I'm pretty easygoing. The band's pretty easygoing, so we're chill.
Yeah. There are regrets. From the past evening, but
it's okay. We're here. We did it.
I'll say a prayer. I just have one last question for you. What's your favorite city for Beans and Breakdowns?
So my favorite city is going to be Montreal, man. Honestly, the scene, you hooked it up last time I was in Montreal. Give me some recommendations for the beans as well. So it was great. Montreal, baby.
That is the correct answer. Montreal is the best city in the world. And I will shamelessly plug that every single time.
One of my faves, one of our faves to play. We love Montreal, second home, Montreal hardcore, lifers, homies, everything. So
everybody, just all of it.
Shout out all the bands who've come out, played with us, showed us love. So yeah.
Shout out Skullgate.
Appreciate you.
The best thrash crossover band from Ottawa ever. I can only say that because I can't say, like Prow is also the.
I understand. I get it.
the Blood Brothers are Skullgate and Prow.
Yes.
So, but yeah, it's lonely at the top.
I mean, they do it too good, man. They do it too good. So what can I say?
It is different. Like
yes.
they're very different. You guys sound like a better version of Metallica. That's just how it is.
Yeah. We do more of that kind of like vein kind of stuff for sure. Like,
yeah,
that's why we got the Metallicore award or whatever last year from, what was it? From
Not Be About It.
No, why am I blanking right now? Bandictotes.
Oh,
they're like best Metallicore band, Skullgate. And we're like, hell yeah.
that's a great award.
Exactly. So
anybody listening, if you're at this point and you haven't listened to Skullgate, go listen to Skullgate, and you will have a new favorite band. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah. Ben, have a wonderful Saturday. I hope Sunday. Sorry, Sunday. And I hope the Thousand Knives show goes great because those are great people.
Yes. Yeah. Thousand Knives, Good Depression, Moratorium. It's going to be a good time.
Oh, Good Depression's playing too.
Yep.
Nice. Ben, thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Beans and Breakdowns. I want to say a huge thanks to Ben for hanging out on the podcast. Always a pleasure speaking with him. If you haven't already, please listen to Skullgate. Check out their newest release, Veils, available on Lifers Records. It's out on all streaming platforms. Give them a listen. If you've enjoyed the podcast, please subscribe and leave a review. You can find out more information about the podcast by following us on Instagram at Beans and Breakdowns or on the web at beansandbreakdowns.com. Until next week, be sure to stay caffeinated and wake the fuck up.